Hey everyone, it's Megan, and today I have my wonderful partner Vic.
Hello.
Who also had trichotillomania. So I guess today we're going to talk about how we both stopped pulling. This is our own personal experience and the things that worked for us. So a little over a year ago now, I decided I was going to just change. I needed to change my life. It was about time. I was very unhappy and realized that there was a lot of toxic people in my life. So the best thing I ever did was get rid of a very toxic friend. And after I did that the next day, I shaved my head and told myself, I'm going to do this. It's been 20 years. I'm ready to do this. I want this. I need to do this for, honestly, my own sanity. Vic didn't come around until I was almost 4 months pull-free. But at first, I didn't know that they had trick. So it came up in conversation the one day, and I said, oh, well, I had trichotillomania. And to my surprise, I found out that they had been struggling with it since you were how old?
11-ish.
Yeah. So a good 10 years.
Yep.
So it was really cool because I was interested in them, wanting to date them, but not knowing that they suffered from the same thing that I suffered from for years. So that was really cool because they understood the struggles in it, and they understood that as much as I wanted to stop, I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to talk a little bit about how it was for you?
Yeah, so, I mean, as she said, I struggled with it since I was about 11. I had a really abusive teacher, and that was just a way I coped with it once I was out of that situation. It became more habitual than anything. It was just like something I did. I would just find myself going to pull. It wasn't really, it felt good, but it wasn't really necessarily linked to emotions or anything. So I struggled with that for a good 10 years, but then I met Megan here, and I believe I saw on your dating profile that, like, you were, because you put in your dating profile that you were,
Yeah, I did.
That you were, like, trying to beat it or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But it didn't really come up in conversation immediately. But then I think you brought it up in conversation, or I did. One of us did. At which point I told her, like, I was honest with her because I wasn't ever really...
I didn't believe you at first either.
I know. I was never really honest with...
I was like, no, you don't.
I was never really honest with anyone that I dated. No one really brought it up. And if anyone had, I would have just lied in some capacity, I'm sure. But I was just honest with her because, like, for the first time in my life, I knew that I was speaking to someone who understood and who would get it. And, like, I wouldn't be judged for it or anything because she dealt with it.
And for me personally, that has been I think the greatest thing of this whole relationship is finally meeting somebody that understood exactly what I went through. Mm-hmm. I was with exes who didn't understand it, didn't suffer from it, and would get mad at me every time they saw me pull and say, stop, why are you doing that? And, make me feel bad about myself. Even though I was almost 4 months pull for you and I met them, they still understood. So say I had a relapse, which I haven't, I knew that they would be able to support me and be there the way I've needed someone to be there. Mm-hmm. Because you've understood, unlike everybody else I've been with.
Yeah.
So it was middle of January of last year. I decided after getting rid of a toxic friend, I was going to shave my head. I was determined to beat this. It was 20 years of hating myself, thinking I was the worst ever, thinking I was an awful person. I never thought I could be happy and love myself. And I don't know, something in me was just like, you're going to do this. You want to do this. All you've ever wanted is long hair. You're going to do this. And everybody's asking me constantly, how did you do it? When you want something so bad, you're going to do it. There was a lot of trial and error. I tried for years to stop. I think the longest I went was 5 months. And then it started pulling again. But this time around, I kept telling myself, I need to do this. I want to do this. I was very self-conscious. I hated who I was. And I was tired of living like that. So something I wanted so bad, I knew I was going to do it. I was very determined. And I'm still very determined. because people have told me I make it look easy to not pull, but that's not reality at all.
No.
Vic can vouch, you know, behind closed doors, there's been days where I cry out of frustration knowing that I can't pull, because if I did pull, then that's it. Like, I know I just start pulling like crazy, and all my success and all my recovery would go down the drain, and I don't want that for myself. I've had to teach my mind and my hands how to distract myself from those urges. So when I get an urge, and I still do, and it's over a year, almost, it'll be 13 months on the 19th of February. I still have to, you know, step back when I get the urge and say, okay, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to actually do this. My brain's telling me I want to, but I'm not going to listen to my brain. I'm going to do what I know in my heart that I want, not what my brain's telling me to do. I don't know. Maybe share with them how you stopped.
I feel like for me, it's just that I never really had anyone who actually held me accountable. And that's my own doing. I did that to myself by not being honest with anyone about it and not really sharing. I'd meet people here and there who might have Trich, who I'd kind of talk to sometimes. Didn't have any long-lasting friendships. Wasn't honest with anyone in my life about it. And didn't take any steps. So when I met someone who understood, I felt it was kind of a twofold
kind
thing.
Of relieved.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because first of all, she proved to me, since she was, you know, about 4 months pull-free when we met, that it's possible. Because I'd never spoken to anyone with Trich who'd gone more than maybe 2 or 3 weeks without pulling.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, she showed me it can happen. And then second of all, she also just showed me that, you know, if you're held accountable in any capacity, that's better than just only holding yourself accountable. Because realistically, you can only get yourself so far. I think for a lot of people, at least people who are wired like I am, it helps if you have someone who's checking in on you. And even honestly, if they don't really care, if they won't judge you if you're going to pull, you don't want to embarrass yourself. So just your self-preservation of just like, okay, they're not going to judge me. They're not going to, you know, whatever. They're going to be proud of me if I don't pull. That really helps. And thank you, honey.
I'm so proud of you.
My final third little point here is just that I would often try to quit just by saying, okay, instead of just pulling like every hair I see, I'm just going to pull like 1 or 2 or 3. You got to do it cold turkey. If you keep pulling, you're never going to stop. So, it's not like cigarettes or something. You can't just slowly wean yourself, in my opinion. You got to just stop. And it sucks. And the first few weeks suck. And you're going to sit there really wanting to pull, but you just can't.
I'm going to say the first 2 months,
yeah,
I'll be brutally honest, was hell.
Yeah.
Absolute hell. Because the urge is constantly there and you want to pull so bad, but it's something you've wanted, for me, almost my whole life. I mean, it started when I was 8 years old. I'm 28 now. And even before this started, my mom always cut my hair short. So I never knew what it was even like to have long hair. So literally, this is something I've wanted for myself my whole life. Mm-hmm. And I just pushed through the breakdowns and the frustration, because at first I didn't know that I would make it this far. I was like, it's been a few months now. I just know I'm going to slip up. And then I realized I need to change the way I thought about the whole situation. I needed to keep telling myself, no, you can't think like that. You need to keep telling yourself that you're going to do this. And a year came up almost a month ago, and it was honestly the most emotional day of my life. I cried so hard out of happiness. I never thought I would make it as far as I have. You know, everybody always told me, you'll never succeed in having long hair. You'll never actually do this. And when I did, not only did I prove everyone wrong, but I proved myself wrong. I proved to myself that, oh shit, I can do this. And I will do this, and I will continue to do this. I just got to keep my mind and my hands distracted. That is key, and I will keep saying that. It's basically about retraining your brain on how do I word it?
You just have to tell your brain no. It's that simple. Yeah. Any habit you have, anything.
Because it's compulsive.
It's compulsive. Your brain just gets used to doing it, and it's hard to train yourself. Try to stop any habit of yours. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. Even habits that don't matter, right? Because your brain likes patterns and paths, and
You
that's
gotta
okay,
break
because that's
that
why our brains are
habit.
so powerful.
You have to break that
But
pattern.
it's hard to break habits, but you have to, especially when it's something that you really want or something that will benefit you in some capacity.
I truly believe that everyone can beat this and will beat this. I have people coming to me all the time, messaging me saying, I can't do this. And yes, you can.
Oh, yeah.
After 20 years and I'm doing it, you can do it too. I never thought this would be a reality, and here I am sitting here talking to all you lovely people and telling you you can do this. Before I end this, I want to make a shout out to my dear friend Laura. I am so proud of you. I believe she's over 3 months pull-free now.
Sweet.
And I know she's saying that I'm her motivation. Girl, you've had it in you for a long time. This is all you. You have no one to thank but yourself for your success. And friend to friend, I am so proud of you, of how far you've come. I love you. You're rocking it. You're killing it. I couldn't be more proud. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on all my social media. She Beat Trichotillomania, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and my Twitter is She Beat Trick. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.